Isn't it funny how when there's nobody straddling lanes or blocking lanes that merge in turn just works seamlessly? Crazy, huh? Merge in turn is the process of two traffic flows combining into one by shared alternate priority, as the equal use of both lanes for queuing shortens the physical extent of those queues and so reduces delays arising from interference with the upstream junctions. When there is congestion, it is better to merge at the closure so there is one uniform merge point instead of creating multiple random merge points that causes people to brake, which creates stop-start congestion, which then creates one long line that goes back so far that it blocks the junctions and slip roads behind. By having one uniform merge point at the closure, those in the lane continuing know where they need to let off the throttle slightly to create a car-sized gap, the car from the closing lane merges, and it's hunky-dory, as I've demonstrated in this video. Now, I know if you're not a big picture thinker, you'll probably say that traffic flows better when it's down to one lane, so you should be moving over earlier, but all that means is you're making the pinch point earlier, so making traffic slower further back as opposed to where they want the pinch point, which is at the closure. If they wanted you out of that lane sooner, they'd close it sooner. When there is a lane closure, there is always going to be a pinch point because there is no way of reducing lanes efficiently without there being a pinch point. This can be seen if you've ever seen a mobile closure for a broken down vehicle. In this clip, you can see after the two lanes become three, the congestion remained heavy because lane 1 was closed further down for a vehicle recovery. And then once you've passed the mobile closure, the traffic flows again. This shows that it doesn't matter where the closure is, whether it's early, whether it's late, there is always going to be a pinch point. So it's better if there is heavy traffic and congestion to make the pinch point as late as possible. That means the congestion can be held in a smaller area so as to prevent the traffic congestion spreading to more areas and more roads than is needed. If you're doubting anything that I've said, I'd love it if you can answer two questions for me. 1. How does this just work seamlessly in many countries in mainland Europe where it's just part of normal driving? And I'm thinking of places like Germany where it's written into their road laws. And 2, if it doesn't work because of people flying down the empty lane and pushing in, how come nearly every documented instance of it not working, we see it's because of people straddling lanes or blocking lanes and not because of people flying down the empty lane and pushing in? Also, quick FYI, there is no order in which cars go when in congestion. It's not a doctor's surgery or a post office queue. You're not entitled to be ahead of anybody on the road. If it can work at a fast food drive-thru, it can work at roadworks. One last disclaimer, if traffic is flowing and is fast, you should be out of the closing lane sooner so as to not risk road workers' lives at the closure. But that doesn't really matter in congestion because you're already at a slow speed, which is why when there is traffic and congestion, you should be using all available road space and merging in turn like a zip. Lovely jubbly, sound as a pound.